afternoon, good evening, good morning, here, folks. It's your man, always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, it's Tuesday. What Tuesday? I don't know what is it about this day.
You say so. Okay.
It's Tuesday's not that, I don't know. It seems like the week hasn't really started into it yet, and you're not too close to the weekend.
Yeah.
When I used to work at my old job at the club, the highlight was Tuesday was $2 Tuesdays, and that's when it was easy to it was $2 to get in, and then after that it was like the price went up. So, folks, I got some things coming up this weekend. If you want to check out my Sunday Roundtable discussion, and also I'm just a few weeks away from leaving and going to Pittsburgh. As you know, for me, I'm a country boy, and this is the farthest I've been north in my life. I think the first place I went up north was Virginia, and that was over 20 years ago. So now I'm going to Pittsburgh.
I can't wait to hear.
Yeah, I can't wait to see him. I can't wait. So, folks, we have here the lovely ladies, but a guest in the past, the lovely Mrs. IFBB Physique Pro, Rachel Jaffe. Rachel just wrapped up last weekend at the Max Fit, which is one of the biggest master shows around in Florida. We reached out to her and said, hey, it's been a while since she last been on here, and it's been a while since she last competed. So we asked her to come back on, talk about the experience of the Max Fit, what our plans now, what was like since the last time we interviewed her, and just like I said, shoot the shit. So welcome, Rachel, and thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me again. I love being with you.
You can't say that for you. You're a married woman. You can't be saying that. You can't be saying that you're a married woman. You can't.
That's what I said it.
I don't want no trouble from your husband. I want no trouble.
Right.
But for me, it's a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you.
And so, as we know, last time you did a couple of shows not last year, 2024.
2024.
You did. It was a show in Florida. What's the name of that show?
I did Clash, and then I did All South.
Yeah, and I would say, the Clash was that year. It was only one-time show because I remember somebody would talk about how it was mostly a bikini. I think the Clash year was mostly based on the bikini, but that year they had Physique. That was also the year that Natalia Cuejo competed, and I think just right after right after she got her title. No, I think it was right after, because she didn't get her title back to 2024, and that was the year I think she lost it back to Sarah.
Right, and then got it back the next year, then following year. Exactly, that's correct. Damn, you got a good memory. That's really good.
As my master Raza Go taught me, beware of surrounds at all time, your master Wayne. So and you won in your division with your class, which was 50 plus.
I did.
And you also did the next show. So what was it like doing those last couple of years as you were getting ready and prepping?
So we're talking 2024, I had the best time at the Clash All South, the one they were talking about with the inaugural Women's Physique. It was a smaller show. It ran smooth and great. I felt great. I had no cravings going into prep. I had one bite of food that night after the show and had the hardest time readjusting going into Atlantic Coast. My complete attitude changed. I was like, I don't want to do this. Like I stayed on, but I had a very hard time transitioning from one show to the next. That had never been a problem for me before. I'd always done 2 shows, kind of thing. But I just mentally was drained and sort of over it, and went in with my best attitude and still had a great time. And that show was huge as well. It had some glitches, but it was a lot of fun. Very pleased with where I placed, but I was ready to be done. I had one taste of that food. I didn't have any cravings going in, and that was it. I was really resentful of the 2 weeks in between my 2 shows. So while I had fun at the Atlantic Coast, I didn't enjoy that time in between. And I've always said, if it's not fun, why am I doing it? It's like my hobby, so it's supposed to be fun. I'm not saying it's not without its challenges, but so then I was like, I need a year off. Also, my father was very sick, so I wanted to spend time with him, which I did get to do. And I always knew that when he passed, I was going to take that year to compete to help me with my grieving. And then I had another big medical emergency as well. So I kind of knew always that last year I was taking off to be with my father. And actually this past MaxFit Pro is almost 1 year to the date of the anniversary of his death. So there were so many cool things going into this show where he spoke to me. It was crazy. And so also I knew at that. So where do you want to go from there? Because I could just talk forever. So
well, man, you talk, you just feel like you like to, this is about y'all ladies, like my saying, it may not be the age, but I'm down with you ladies. So, and my condolences on the passing of your father.
Thank you.
It's been 6 years since the passing of my mother, and
sorry.
it's been at least about this coming up 14 years since my father passed. We wasn't as close as I was with my mother, but he was still my father. I do miss him every now and then. But my mother, she was my woman, and you are a mother of two boys. So, as boys, our mothers are, a boy's best friend is his mother. So, about your sons, how they doing? Because I know one of them got a really cool job now.
Yeah, they both have cool jobs. One works for CONCACAF in Miami, which is a soccer federation, and he actually worked for the World Cup in FIFA this summer. So he spent the entire summer working in Vancouver, doing all things soccer. And my other son's in LA. He works for the Chargers, and so he's in preseason right now, and he does the premium suites and services. So they're having all of their events for the ticket holders, and he's getting to do live Q&As with players. They're thriving. They're doing great. They weren't able to come to the show, but they streamed it. They're amazing. And I'm so lucky because then I get to go to Miami and visit one, and LA to visit the other. It's like great beach weather.
I know you're proud of your babies. They did so good. You and your husband did a good job. You got those young men get together. So how long before they get married and have babies?
I used to say to them, don't add or subtract to the population. Don't add or subtract. Now I said, you can add, just don't subtract.
Well, like this, it's like anything. Like one of my biggest regrets not having children of my own, but watching my nieces and nephews grow and watching their children grow, that's just something beautiful about it. And to be a parent, and then you leave a footprint in this world, especially with your children, especially with your boys as successful they are. So now, during that time, you said you had some medical issues. What was going on?
So I think for everybody, 25 was a horrible year, if I'm not mistaken. People were pretty, had a lot of trauma. So I had a lot of things happen. I had a house in the Palisades that was in the fire in January. Then I had other things happen. Then I had a big asthma attack. Then my father died. And then one couldn't feel my left leg. It was numb, and it traveled all the way up my leg to my hip. And then it started traveling up my right foot all the way up to my right knee. And then it got into my intimate areas, let's call it, started to get numb. So I was like, I think maybe I should go to the doctor for this. You would think I would have gone before, but it turned out I had a super duper, and I was in the hospital for a long time, super rare case of something called varicella-zoster virus myelitis, which is basically I had shingles inside my spinal cord fluid. And like 0.003% of the population gets this, and it often either kills someone or paralyzes you. So I still have some numbness in my left leg. Like I'm calling it loss of sensation. So I knew like that on top of my father dying, it was like 6 weeks after. It was really quite traumatic. I was like, I got to do something to change my pathway and get out of this lack and trauma. So I always felt that prep gave me structure. I knew I was considering it. And before my father passed, he said, I said, what color should I wear on stage? And he said, blue. And then I can tell you about a whole bunch of crazy things after that. But it was crazy. And I did end up wearing blue on stage, but I tried my hardest not to. But he got his way in the end.
Well, our parents always put a little guilt trip on us or whatever it is. Like, do this boy, blah, 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 boy, He
loved to control my clothes. He wanted me to cover up more. He's my father, of course.
Yeah.
So, that he's controlling that from someplace else was like the greatest gift during competing, cracked me up. So he was literally with me on that stage. It was amazing.
That's good that, you enjoyed yourself and you did something that you loved doing. And then The other stuff went through it. That's tough. I can tell you, myself going through medical issues, in the past, and it can really sideline, your mental health too, because you just going on, what's going on with my body? I'm supposed to be a healthy person. A while back, a lady who I did an interview a while back, she did a show and she had got shingles, and I
Oh,
said, you know what? Yeah, because yeah,
well,
because
I went and got the shingles shot after I saw my brother have shingles and my husband have shingles. I was like, I'm not, and I had two of the vaccinations for shingles.
mhm.
So how
well,
do you
I
get into your spinal cord fluid? Nobody knows.
Yeah, well, I got to go get my second shot eventually because I got mine about a couple of months ago.
Oh, it's
Because
painful.
I am in the next few months I'm gonna be 52. So yeah,
Into the good stuff. Get
yeah,
that shot.
yeah.
It knocks you out for a day or two, some people, but it's better than having shingles. Trust.
Yeah, I heard the stories. I remember when I got my first COVID shot, and I remember I was like out and was tired, but then after a while it went with your system, and then boom, I'm okay. The second shot, no problem. I think that's what people need to understand. That these things are for helping for your health being. I sometimes I hear people say it's just this. Are you a doctor? Are you a scientist? Do you
Right.
know how this stuff works? No. Quit talk off your ass. And if something happened to you, that's on you, not on me.
I'm
So
on your side with that. We are aligned.
yeah, that's good. So anyway, you did the Max Fit. Why that show? Because there was at least I
Okay.
think a couple other shows that were exclusively the Masters, and also shows that do Masters and Open. Like Tampa was just wrapped up, and they had a big lineup. And I talked to some ladies from that show, and also there was Chicago. Which one felt like it was it because it felt like aligned with your prep time.
For sure, because my husband and I share the same birthday. I am 4 hours older than him, and it's in September. And I wanted to be done in August so we could celebrate together and have cake together and not be in prep still like going into November, which sometimes there are those other shows as well. So I wanted an August date. I started getting ready for this show in January with my coach Andrew Vu. I missed Mardi Gras, all of that stuff, which is crazy. But Fort Walton Beach is very close to New Orleans, which is where I'm from. It's only a 4-hour drive. So that was super appealing. The August date was super appealing because it was August and it was near the anniversary of the death. I knew my mom could kind of drive out there, which she did. And it's historically been a smaller show. I don't ever go to a show thinking about being the winner or dead center. I'm not talking about not going and playing and hoping to win, but you're at the Super Bowl. You're not always going to win. Like there are other people. Everybody's working hard to get there. So I tied into, did I have a good time getting into that placing? Because some of my favorite placings are like third and fourth kind of thing. They're obviously when you turn pro, that's going to be your favorite one. But so it's not really about where you place, but it's about the entire weekend for me and how I'm going to come out of it. That was a smaller show, so I felt more comfortable doing that. I didn't enjoy that experience of the Tim Gardner show, not because of Tim Gardner, but because of the size of it. And he typically runs bigger shows. So Tampa was out. I'm not doing open. I don't even go under 50 anymore. I didn't even do 45. So I needed a 50 and 55 bracket. So it really, checked a lot of boxes. Obviously it ended up being like the biggest show in history.
Yeah,
It was crazy.
I think they said the original
I
plan
have a
was.
lot of opinions on this show.
Yeah, we'll get into that because I think the original plan was supposed to be at least maybe about 150 people at the most, and then it jumped up to over nearly I think 1,000 to about I think that much.
We had like 389 pros. Like
So yeah,
it was a giant show. I think that the Tyler Mannion and the IFBB is really missing the mark in their masters category by limiting themselves and all these productions to open and 40 and 45 because the 50, 55, 60 classes are big now. And we're the people who are retired and have time and money to spend, and that's what they want. we're going to travel and do all those things, and they don't ever market or go to us. This show was marketed and targeted towards masters. $10,000 in the 40, which, by the way, I totally agreed with and thought it was absolutely fair how he spread the money out. But like, I don't know where else to go from there. How to finish that up, you know.
Well, I think it's like with the 40 and over class, because that's considered, as you know, that's the qualification for Masters Olympia, which is coming up next year. Only person that other outside that does Masters is, you know, as you know, as people know, I'm going to be going to Pittsburgh in a few months. I'm going to check out the North Americans and also the World Championships. I hope I can make it. You know, hope something doesn't happen. So I better not jinx it. But you know, they also do the Masters class.
You're manifesting it.
Yeah, manifested, and they also do the Masters class. I think go up to 60, even to 70. Some shows. You know, Gary Union is a big component for Masters because he has the Team Collegiate and Masters. That's usually right after like a show like
show.
Yeah, it's right after like the Universes. Also, they do a Masters, but I think they only go as high as maybe 40. And yeah, it's true that a lot of you over 40, 50, because you're empty nesters. You know, you don't have to worry about, you know, school just started in some places, you know, and you don't have to worry about buying school books and clothes and getting kids ready, you know, because your kids are grown. They're grown men. They got their lives.
That's exactly
and,
right.
You know, and I think that's something, because as a master player, you have to pay to play. So why not, you know, really hop on a little more?
Why do we have to pay and the Open doesn't? I don't understand that, but there are lots of things I don't understand. But then, like, why would you do Open 35 and 40 and not, maybe because it makes it too long or whatever, but I do feel like promoters are missing out on, you know, a bunch of people who want to compete, and also that they never break things down for the masters or give them any it's always about the Open. You know, he talks about different shows. They don't ever talk about the master classes or breaking down things like that. And I think it's very interesting, especially with the almost 400 35 plus people we had, which 40 was the big group, but 45s were huge. I mean, it was a huge, huge, huge show. Like, it was overwhelming, overstimulating, all of that. It was craziness.
Yeah, because if you follow my channel, I did post some stuff on it because some of you ladies been guessing my channel. So,
yeah, my God, you definitely do. I'm talking about other people. Y'all do all the heavy lifting.
Yeah, because you know what, quite a few of my interviews are done with women of 40 to 50 master competitors. I interviewed a lady from Great Britain. She's a master amateur bikini competitor, and her name is Sybil Osmond, and Sybil's running a show in the UK, and also she's trying to compete in a pro card. I interviewed a lady a while back, Dr. Danielle White, who is 62 years old, just turned 63, and she does Masters of Bikini in the amateurs. One person I always want to get a shout out, my dear friend, Eunice Martinez Kitchen of Bad Rap. And I had the pleasure of, as you know, I went to Tampa last year, and I got to meet Eunice in person. And I hanged out with her partner Jolene, and also got to meet with this gentleman here in the middle between us.
I see David Lee Roth.
Yeah, thank you. I feel like I'm an old person when I saw this picture. Somebody say, "Who's that guy?" That's Diamond Dave.
Talking about it's amazing.
I mean, here's the story of that. It was like this is about the last day because I couldn't stay too much longer because my train was leaving later that afternoon. And David took me around to my train. You know, my man David, female body before, shout to him. You know, he did an interview with Rachel. He has hands on my girl. I told him, you know, but I was just there chilling, and I was charging my phone and stuff. And I said, I was going back. I saw this guy, this skinny old guy, and his wife. I thought it was his wife. I wasn't sure, you know. So I said, okay, this was this guy. And then, and then we pictured you were good. But then I'm sitting at the booth with Eunice and Jolene. Actually, just me and Eunice was in the booth, but Jolene was someplace else. And I looked my head up, and this guy smiling. I said, why he looks familiar? And then my brain started clicking. And I said, shit, that's David Lee Roth. Oh my God. I mean, my country ass would never have met that man in my life if I stayed here. If I go to Tampa to help my friend, I would never met that man. That was the biggest celebrity I ever saw in my life before him was Dave. Yeah, the big celeb I saw before him was Alex Trebek. That was when I was walking out of Disney World with my family. He was going the other way with his daughter on his shoulders. That was like almost 30 years ago.
Who was it?
It was Alex Trebek. I went to. It was like a. It was like
Oh
30
yeah,
years.
that's a
It was
big
like,
one.
yeah, it was 30 years ago. Me, my sister, two of my sisters, my niece and nephews, we went to Disney World, for a vacation, and we were leaving out of Epcot Center, and he was there for some kind of thing, an event, and he had his daughter. I think she was 2 or 3 years old at the time on his shoulder, walking the other way. I wish I took a picture of that, but I was so, this is my first time in Disney World. I was taking pictures everywhere, left, right, and I ran out of film.
Back in the day when there was film, that's amazing.
Yeah. I know I'm old. And then, as you mentioned, your
So
coach.
about David Lee Roth, who I love. David Lee Roth. We were just talking about Diamond Dave. When I'm doing my cardio at the end of prep, I watch a lot of videos. I watched Just a Gigolo. No, it was California Girls. I did watch Just a Gigolo too, but then California Girls, his version came up, and he has a bodybuilder woman in the video posing. So I have to go look
We talk about that's Kay Baxter. Kay Baxter was an Olympian. She competed back in the good part of the 80s. She passed away. So she had a beautiful physique.
Oh my
beautiful
God.
Physique. I mean, and that was his coach and friend, because she used to coach him, and they were good friends. Dave had her and a couple other female bodybuilders in his videos. He was a big fan of. That's why he was there, because he's hanging out.
I didn't realize it until I was like doing. I totally went and looked it up. So I mean, like, that's crazy.
Yeah, he that was his coach and friend, and he had her in music videos. He also helped him train. They were friends for a long time. He talked about Kay Baxter. We were at the booth with us. I mean, he's a great, amazing guy. He was there doing the concert. Jolene stayed an extra day because she wanted to see the concert. But person you talk about is your coach, Andrew Vu.
Yes.
I got to meet one of his clients also there.
Oh, she's one of my coaches too.
Yeah, Ashley Jones, who at the time was number 3 in the world, now number 2 in the world. And if you go to my IG first, she gives me a shout out. I mean,
she's the greatest.
And also I got to meet Sharonica Hinton.
Oh
she
my
was there.
gosh. Gorgeous.
I mean, she just got her
too.
Yeah, she just got her Olympic qualification in Texas. I was rooting for her really bad because I feel like she got snubbed both in Atlanta and Tampa. And I got to meet a young lady who's now in the women's badminton division, and that is Paula Ranta, who made the switch.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. I mean, she really, if you look at it now, she really has evolved just barely a year, because she just was second year doing physique, and she won her qualification that year at Chicago. And, she really has grown and changed.
I was looking, yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. So anyway, but back to Max Fit. What was it like for you? Because you this is a show you want to do because you place, I think, top 2 in your what was the places in your
4th in 55s, and I was 5th in the 50s.
Okay, so it was in the top 5.
Top 5, and I think there were 9 and 7 people in each of those. So that was my highest placing in such a big group. So I was thrilled. I mean, I had the best time up there. They tried so hard. This was a show that was clearly dedicated to the competitors, and Clay Parker was running it towards the competitors. It felt like it was for us. They did the most. They had a meeting for us to come in. They had goodie bags that I've never seen, but so many people. And they said to us in the meeting, this is normally a small show. It exploded in the last 3 weeks, and we can't make changes that late because all the venues are booked. You can't get a bigger venue when you have not that many signups. So it was really a lot of growing pains. What they did, everything in there, it was a very, very, very long day for everybody on Saturday. They told us it was going to be a long day, but they had a dream, in a perfect world, a dream schedule with the NPC going, then the pros, and then the pros at night and the NPC. There were just too many people, so it just was we were just there for hours waiting, but it's also amazing. I had the deepest conversations with so many people. I had ridiculous conversations. I went to the bathroom 500 times. I got to watch the show. It was really cool. And they kept coming back and letting us know what happened and trying to make it better. Like it wasn't like they were like, whatever. I mean, like they were working so hard to make us comfortable, and food spreads that were beyond belief, and like just such a dedication to the athletes that I am honored and proud to be part of that growing pain. And I hope that everybody will go to their show. And I know it's going to be 2 days next year. And when they nail that shit, it is going to be fucking fire, because the shirt was amazing. The backdrop I thought was super cool. And I think a lot of the backdrops are now about the promoters and not about the competitors. And I think a lot of the shows have been coming about all these fancy schmancy stages when you don't really need that much, and it detracts from the competitors. Every single person kept everybody up to date, answered the same question 1,000 times, never lost their patience. I mean, like they tried so hard to make it as smooth as possible. And when we finally got up there for like even prejudging, they looked at us. They made sure to give everybody that time on stage, and they didn't want anybody to feel like they didn't have time. Do you know what I mean? Like they didn't rush through anybody. Now, could certain things change besides the date? 2 days, sure. Like opening things should only be 30 seconds. Not a minute with your mandatory, your first look kind of thing. But I mean, it was super smooth other than that. But it was a major delay.
Yeah,
I didn't even get off stage for finals. So this was also my retirement show. I had decided that I am not competing anymore. This prep kind of took the life out of me and me out of life. I actually had a super easy prep, so it's weird to say that. But, I've been going at it since January, and I felt like I said, I miss Mardi Gras. I felt like it was the first time that I felt like I was missing out on things. And I've never felt like that before. So I feel very good that was my last one, because I couldn't do that 15-hour wait, that day again by any means.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on your
boat. Like, so what's there to complain about? Everybody's flat, or everybody's, we're all waiting the same amount of time.
Well, you know what? You have earned that right to step away from the sport, to live your life, do what you want to do, spend more time with your husband, more time with your families. As a fan, we're gonna miss you. We're gonna miss your ripped physique on the stage.
Like I can't change my mind. They're not. I can always change my mind.
You can always change your mind. Like I said again, like you can take as much long as you want, and then with quite a few. Like earlier this year, a couple of young competitors decided to step back because. I think one thing was to talk about how the criteria of women's physique is changing, and some are switching divisions. As you know, recently you saw Megan Morrison. I met her while I was at Tampa too. When I was there, she's going up to women's bodybuilding. She's going to be at the Rising Phoenix, and that was a big surpriser. Paula Ranta, just after winning 2 shows, back to back, and now going up to women's bodybuilding, just got a qualification for the Olympia in that division. 2 divisions within a first of a year, and also. We have the fit model division, excuse me.
That was actually the smallest division in our show, which is interesting.
Well, you got to think about it. This a division for maybe younger women, more or less. And, when you get to a point in your life, especially if you have kids, you're going through things like menopause and stuff like that. Your body's not going to be as young, tight, and petite. Compared to, there may be a handful of women who still can maintain that, but generally most women, it's harder. You had 2 kids, and that sometimes can change how your body chemistry works. Going through something like menopause and stuff like that.
100% did, no question about it.
Yeah, we have to have your comment shout. I got to put my old man glasses now. Yeah, I don't want mine to shine off the screen. So we got my man here, Alex, coming through. I met Alex when I was at Tampa. He is a great kid. Says, "Hey George, nice to meet you, Rachel." He's a great kid. He's got a guest on my channel. He's really cool. I like Alex. He was the one who got the shout out to me with Ashley. I think the kid.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So
I met with Ashley and worked on my posing so hard. She had to learn a different language to teach me how to pose. I fucking killed that shit.
Well, Ashley is a pretty good poser. I think she has quite a few talents as a coach. Being especially her background, she's number 2 in the world behind Andrea Shaw. So and I think it was a great opportunity to meet her when I was at Tampa, and I think everybody finds something about this sport that really helps them in their goals to achieve whatever level they want, especially from training to dieting, and also that it's important to, live your life if you want, enjoy those opportunities. But again, like you said, you never know. You can never say never, because you never know. You might get that itch. You sit around the house one day and you just say, you know what, honey, I feel like I'm gonna want to go back and prep one more time. I wanna
maybe. I mean, like the doors are always open. I don't see it in the next few years, definitely. So this is ridiculous, but I believe in like numerology. I enjoy numerology. So every number 1 through 9 has a meaning, 0 through 9. And if you add my 2 placings up, which I placed 4th and I placed 5th, it equals 9. And 9 represents the completion of a circle, and that it's like there are so many things. Wisdom, it means moving on to new beginnings. It's the end of it. So I mean, like I said, where I land in ranking is always nice, but like I rank it of like which one was more fun to pose in, like when they were doing the 4th and the 5th place. Like, was it more fun to fight for 5th place, or was it more fun to fight for 4th place? I never thought of it as fighting. I always called it funning, because I think it's fun to stand there and pose down. Like, I loved every second of it. But like fighting, I loved posing down in the 50s more than the 55s, even though I had a better placing in the 55s. There was a first call out in the 50s. I was not in it. It was a 4-person call out, and like Tatiana Balut was in it, and like standing next to her, I come up to her kneecaps. Like I am not taking away anything from people who placed above me, nothing, but like I was fine standing there on the side. I was present and taking everything in. And then they called my number to go for second call outs, and I got to stand in the center. And they were moving everybody around, and I was waiting to kind of be moved, and I held center for the entire call out. And that was really thrilling. It was really, really, really exciting. I hadn't done that with the 5-person thing, 5 people ever. Obviously I've been on center, but like that was so fun. And then in the middle of it, I looked down and there's a huge charcuterie board next to the judges station so they could snack while they were sitting there, which is smart. But like, I was really in that room. 4th was fun placing for too, because they moved us around and all of that. But like, I never dreamed in my wildest dreams that I would be 5th in 50s. Like, because, like I said, I don't think like that. So like, it's beyond, those placings to me are beyond exciting. And like, I think there's video of me when they call me for 4th that my jaw drops, because I thought maybe I was 5th and 5th. Because what happened was it had gotten so long with the show, they gave people the option to leave. So they said, if you're in the top 5, we need you to stay. If you're in the top 10, you're welcome to stay, and we'll call your name and you can wave, or you can leave and it won't be held against you, because it was so late. And also you had the option to do your routine or not do your routine in women's physique, classic physique, and bodybuilding, anything that had a routine. In the 50s category, I was the only one who did, in 55s, I was the only one who did my routine. And my routine was my reason for being there, because I redid my first routine ever in women's physique. So I did how it started, how it ended. But a lot of people didn't, because they had performed them, that kind of stuff. So I knew I was top 5. I just never dreamed I was 4 and 5. Like, because they told me I had to stay, because I went up and said, do I need to stay or can I leave? Because they were, were dismissing people. And obviously I stayed. Yeah. So it was pretty amazing. And it was great.
Yeah, I know you were kind of like saying, like, can I go? I want to go get myself, take a piss, go something to eat, come back. But they said, no, ma'am, you are in the top 5. I said, wait a minute, I'm in the top 5?
I was like, what? Totally. I was like, what? And then I was like, actually, when I came off for one of them, I said, can I leave? Because I didn't really know where I placed in 55, because they kind of put me on the outside. so I wasn't looking down, so I assumed that maybe I wasn't there. So I said, "Can I go after that one?" They're like, "No, you need to stay." I was like, "Oh, okay." So getting 4 and 5, it was awesome. Like, amazing.
It's an experience, because especially you go in there and there's a stack of lineup of amazing women in that show. You talk about Tatiana Baloo. Tatiana was busy. She did the Tampa Pro, where she got her master's qualification. She did Atlanta, and now doing this show. There's Mariana Casapolo. She's also statuous. I mean, there was an amazing lineup of ladies in that class, 40 to 50. You look at these ladies, say, "Y'all sure y'all that?" I didn't realize it until I saw her on the list. I said, "She's 50."
I know.
I mean, her body's just. I mean, yeah. I can't help myself. You my sin, Jack, Rachel. I must have very small. Y'all ladies excite me. So what we'll do is while we're here, Rachel, here, we're gonna jump into her social media for a little bit.
Okay.
She don't post too much stuff. She needs to be more active.
I was trying to post something and I can't figure out how to do it. So I'm like,
just call your boy and say, "Can you help mommy post something?" It's simple, But we do see some couple of new stuff here. What we have here is from the Clash from mom said a couple of years ago.
Yes.
Here she is. There's here winning in her class.
In second, number 601, Lynn Allen. And your over 50 champion, number 603,
it looks so different.
You should be proud of yourself. I mean, winning your class.
God, I totally am. I loved that show, and not because I want those sweet boys.
There's your boys. There's your boys and your man. They were there for their woman.
That's it.
Yeah, and y'all enjoyed yourself, and that's your dad right there.
Yeah, making a funny face.
Well, rest in peace to him, you were his little girl. He had to come out there, and there's your mom. He's just as pretty as your mama.
We thank you very much.
Yeah. And here, this look. He could be your sister.
We do look alike in that picture.
Yeah,
I never even thought that, but we totally do. I'm going to tell her that. I'm seeing her tomorrow.
Yeah, go ahead. And here's another friend of yours.
Yes, that's a friend from college.
And this is a nice song.
Back that ass up.
Rachel, you got some ideas.
Come on, in New Orleans, from New Orleans, and have one of the greatest songs ever be from New Orleans. Let's go.
Juvenile, yeah. Back that thing up. Yeah, used to play when I used to work in the clubs. That is a banger, and here she is.
Mom used to go to Orange Theory. Yeah, go on. Yeah, that's
enjoy your life.
Friends, we're dancing tonight.
Yeah, and it's good that you enjoy your life because like I said again, you want to take a step back from competition. Really enjoy the opportunity there because you hate to miss that out of that. And
exactly.
Also,
and that last picture. That's my dance studio. So we had it was a physical night, and we all bought the same thing. So that's a Gen Xer, a millennial, and a Gen Zer. Just get physical, which is like Olivia Newton-John. Exactly right.
Yeah, she's been a couple years since she's gone. And again, life is about enjoying yourself. Spending time with your friends.
Yep, that's Mardi Gras.
Yeah. I've never been. My sister went a couple of years ago. I was thinking about going.
You totally should. Come on. That's Mardi Gras Day. Well, that's a locals day. That's Mardi Gras Day.
Yeah. Well, maybe like I said, my finances got to get right. There's your dad again. I know.
My father was the biggest Mardi Gras fan ever. He loved it so much. I mean, we all do. I love Mardi Gras.
I know you miss him because like a boy's best friend is his mother. A girl's best friend is always going to be daddy because he's the one that you sit and stand by every man, and you have a good man that he stands by you, and your boys stand by you, support you. Because again, this is a tough sport for being a woman. Because the time you got to put in, the investments in it, the expense of it. As I said again, for you ladies, you'll have your expenses, and for the other side, you have the banana hams and board shorts.
There was a bodybuilder. There were two bodybuilders that had on the most amazing suits I've ever seen that looked like they cost, a pretty penny. One was like kind of an iridescent. The other was velvet. It was gorgeous. But yeah, I mean, our suits can run up to $1,400. Like, it's crazy because of all the hand beating. I saw someone post something that they like their expenses and how quickly they add up competing. And it was crazy, but true. It adds up quick.
Because between not just, as you know, as a master competitor, you have to pay to play, the travel to the shows, the venue, the cost of the venue, if you used to give free tickets to competitors to give to family members and friends, but now you have to pay for a ticket. And also the backstage stuff, hair, makeup, nails, if you're in divisions like bikini, wellness, and fit model and figure, the cost of your shoes.
Sure.
I mean, it can, if you don't pay attention to it, it can add up. I think it's a lot easier financially with the competitors who don't have the kids at home anymore. They do have time to burn and money to burn too.
Oh, for sure. I said to my husband, how did I ever do this do this and raise the family? I said, there's no way I was pleasant. Like, I just can't even believe that my kids are semi-normal, like, or functioning. But it's such a, I don't want to say narcissistic, but selfish sport. I mean, all sports are selfish, I guess, to a degree, because you have to practice and whatever. But man, it really does. And I'm my husband and my obviously we're big soccer fans. So we had tickets to the World Cup in LA. I was supposed to go with my husband and my younger son because the other one was working in Vancouver. And I didn't go because it was too hard to travel, keep my food. I couldn't go, to the game because they didn't allow food in and it was too long of a time. So I couldn't bring my food up right. So I missed the World Cup game. I actually missed 2 World Cup games due to prep. And I don't want that in my life anymore. I'm not interested. That's an experience I can't get back. But I also didn't want to be Rachel the Ruiner. And, this was really important to my husband and my son. And me sitting there griping because I'm hungry, or not griping, but slumped over because it's, 6 and 8 weeks beforehand is not fun for them. So, the sacrifice for me was just like I said, that there are too many things that I had to pass on to make it, worthwhile to continue on now for, the foreseeable future.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. There is, with the sport, a lot of sacrifices, but sometimes the sacrifice comes with reward. Your places, sure. You got into the top 5 in both of your classes. And, you just, like I said, in your last show where you won in your class, it's reward of it. But again, you hate to miss the opportunity to spend with your family and with your friends. Again, it's not a sport where, you should live your life if you feel like it. And if you want to step away from it, that's fine. Again, I would say do what you want, do what you like, do what you love.
I can't wait to see what it is after bodybuilding that I'm going to love. I'm always going to lift. I mean, that's just a part of who I am. But I can't wait to see what I get into. I mean, the sky's the limit, I guess.
Yeah, and also you can do other stuff. Like I said, you got your dance crew. You can also, have you thought about even coaching yourself, other competitors, or just maybe do a lifestyle coaching? Because there's quite a few bodybuilders that do get into that after the sport.
I don't think so. I think I'm too crazy to help anybody's life. And I don't think that they would want me helping them with their food plan and stuff like that. I don't know what I'm going to do. And I find that thrilling.
Well, let's think about life.
I haven't even worked out since the show. And I'm like, what do I do with all this time? But I'm really trying to recalibrate because that day was just it was actually quite calm in the waiting area, in the backstage area, considering how long the day was. But yeah, so I've been kind of off the grid for a day or two.
You want to have your own peace, especially after long prep. Sitting there. I mean, I know Andrew got you on a very strict diet, especially you want to come in your best shape, and he gives you a cheat meal every now and then. Yeah, I mean, he
God,
is
I look phenomenal.
he's a mad genius because people like one of your stablemates is the Taekwondo, the current Miss Olympia physique champion. Jessica Padilla is part of that. I mean, he has some top
Ashley.
competitors. Yeah, Ashley, Jaffe, Ashley. Yeah, most definitely. Ashley.
Yeah, I mean,
Who?
there's a lot of us.
Rachel.
Rachel.
Rachel. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
I was never hungry on my prep, even up to the day I competed. I did not have a hunger pain. I did not have a craving. Nothing. He is unbelievable. He is so good at what he does, and like, I just execute what he writes for me. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's my job, just to execute that. Everything else, I can have fun and do whatever I want to do. But like, I do that. I followed it to a T. He delivered what he promised and then some. Like, I have never seen my physique look like this, even at 35. I've never had a more balanced, symmetrical look. I've never had such a, I have beat every physique I've ever brought to the stage in any form. And it was like, kind easy is not the right word, because like missing the World Cup's not easy. Like, that's when our, traveling's not easy. We all have to do it. But like, in terms of hunger and cravings and stuff, I had 2 complete off days the entire time. I only had an hour of cardio every day in the morning. So like, I had a pretty chill. It's crazy. How great is that? I mean, but that's why he's so awesome.
Yeah, because I think it's good that we had discussion about that, how some coaches are good at what they're doing. And I think especially with women, and I think a good amount of his clients are women. I think he understands the body chemistry, structure, all that stuff. There's some coaches will give you a cookie cutter plan that might work for a guy in men's classic, but may not work for a woman in WPD or figure. I think there's some pretty good coaches out there. There's some coaches
for sure, because my plan had grits on it. Like, I had grits up until oh God, it's so good. I mean, yeah, like, he definitely is a personalized coach. He's not giving you a cookie cutter, And if you follow what he says, there's no reason why you shouldn't come in banging.
Well, like I said, yeah.
It doesn't mean you're going to win, but there's no reason why you shouldn't come in like dead on and banging.
Yeah, I know. If it was some ladies that come in, somebody had a mindset: if I come in here, I'm going to be the best guy. Yeah, but then you have to, look at somebody else who might just come in a little better. But again, you're not competing against that person; you're competing against yourself.
Agreed. I don't. Who else is up there to me as a playmate, and we're up there having a play date. Like, I think it's super fun. I'm either what the judges are looking for, structure-wise, physique-wise, then, or I'm not. And I wasn't what the look that they were looking for. It doesn't mean I have a terrible physique. Doesn't mean I fucked something up. It just means my physique was not the look that they were trending towards that time. And I feel like they were consistent and fair in their judging, which they said they would be. And I'm pleased as punch. I have I wish more people would be a little bit more relaxed. I hear everybody grinding, and I said it last time. And I said it this time. It's supposed to be fun. I'm not saying it's easy or whatever, but I mean, you should be enjoying what you're doing, and your food should be not laborious. Yeah, you may eat the same thing a lot, but there are lots of different ways to make. Why are you doing it if you don't want to be on a stage, or you don't? I don't understand the motivation sometimes. Like, just grinding it out with no joy. And it seems like a lot of people have lost that.
I was talking to a young lady who competes in figure, and she's going to do her 9th show coming this weekend at the Arizona Pro. Actually 10.
This year, in one season?
You remember Paula did that much many in one season too.
Wow.
But you got to think about it. Paula's like 27 years old. He can run all day, run all night. I mean, people talk about at our ages, our running days are done. We just crawl and we just lip around a bit. But when you're in your 20s, you can run all day and run all night. She did 10 shows. I was talking when she said she was off. But the thing is, you were up against some ladies who were top level competitors. And the thing is, I think I would say like this. She's been to Olympia quite a few times. I've seen a link, I've seen a link to her IG. I won't talk too much on here. I've talked about it before, but her name is Adela. She's from Eastern Europe. She did at least 5 shows early this season, and some of them she was in the top 3. And then her last couple of shows, she's kind of weighing down a bit. And I think it should have strategies that, if not going to make the Olympia, it's always next year. Take a time, rest, recover. You don't want to burn yourself out. And that's what a lot of young people, they want everything quick, fast, in a hurry. But it doesn't work like that.
I agree with you 100%. And I feel like your body deteriorates the more shows you do back to back. Like you're not getting better. This one hair is killing me right there. There it goes. Right? I'm not saying like 3 shows, but like your body has, like I said, I've walked some. I may go walk outside tomorrow, but I've not lifted a weight. I have not, and I am reverse dieting. I mean, I had some fun stuff, but like I'm kind of back on my plan, trying to do it smartly, which is another thing I didn't prepare for after 24. After Clash, I kept saying I can't wait to be done and out of my kitchen, forgetting that I had to reverse diet. So I really had a very different mental prep than last time because like I knew this phase was coming. So like I've been able to handle that better. But like it's hard to recalibrate after, a show. And I don't understand how people can just crank it out and then peak again. I mean, like you said, it must be youth. But I can't do it anymore. I can't.
That way, good shit somebody's taking. And plus the cost of it, because she lives in Europe, and she's coming here to the States and do shows, and she did a show in Toronto. She did Toronto's Super Show. She did a couple shows in South America, and I don't know. Somebody got to be a sugar daddy. I
mean, it's just. I agree. I don't know. I don't get it, but it's not for me to get. She's loving it, and that's, good for them. But like, I could definitely not do it.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing to think about your health and your mental health part of it, because this sport can really affect your mind, especially when you're on prep. We were talking earlier, that you have that prep brain, especially after the show. When you try to get everything together, you're tired, you're hangry, you're dehydrated. I know your man, he was taking care of you, saying, "Hey, baby, I got you." But still, there's days where I need something. I need something to keep me going.
Yeah, it's something. It's hard that re-entry is rough. It could be very rough. Prep, yeah, you have to be mentally very sound, or you could spiral very quickly, especially at the end. But, that's my prep brain right there. And it just filtered out. It's like when the sun starts setting, I start going down even more. My brain is like, and we're going to bed. It's just like a clicking off. I don't know how people are back at it at the gym and all of that. I think also taking that year off in between while I was still training allowed my body to heal so much. I didn't have any aches or pains going into this. I didn't end with any aches or pains. Like my body really had a chance to kind of just get back, regulate itself. So, and then I had a super duper productive off season.
Yeah, keep yourself busy while you're waiting, taking this time off, spending time with your father earlier, and then, dealing with your other stuff before that. And it can be a lot for any person, be it a bodybuilder or just be an everyday person, to try to take care of yourself, both your mental and your physical.
Oh, for sure.
Mm-hmm. So, for sure. So now it's, you're going to hang up the posing suit, and now what do you think you want to do with your time?
Well, I also want to say backstage, I talked to so many competitors, and a lot of people are retiring this year, and it was super interesting to hear everybody's story about why they were retiring, because not everybody has the same reasons, and it could be a cool topic for a future conversation. And I only wanted to say that before I forgot it, and it left my brain. So excuse the divergent there. what's next for me? That's where I am right now, trying to just get my thoughts together. I love dance, so I'm going to dive a little bit deep into that, I think. I really have no idea. I guess travel, I don't know. I love to read, so I'll sit and read, I'll dance, and I have a list of places I want to explore and things like that to do. So hopefully I can check some of those off the box. Like different types of dance as well, not just what I'm doing at that studio.
Yeah.
But I'm always be up to date on, what's happening in the bodybuilding world. I mean, I'm retiring from that, but not from being a fan.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to do. I was gonna say I would love to do like the commentary at the Olympia, but I don't think I'd be good at it at all.
Well, you know what? I think that's one thing Olympia needs because this year they changed venues and they're going to have it in September. It used to be in October the last few years, and then it was in December during the pandemic. And they changed the venues. As Jake Woods just got a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Town Bay Pro. And every time I say his name, yo, Jake, I want that money. I want that gun. So, and I think we can use, especially sport can use, competitors who are fans of the sport, who's, even not, if you can work behind the scenes as a.
I would love that.
Because I know the Optima, that's in Shreveport. So,
it is. That's not really close to me. I used to work for the NPC Louisiana. It was a lot of fun. Then I, when I went back to competing, you can't. It's kind of those expediters and Max Fit. The expediters were amazing. The MC was amazing. All of those behind the scenes, I would be totally interested in doing all that.
Yeah, like I said, Louisiana, they have their. You can do NPC shows, start, work as an expediter, work your way up, and I think that experience being a competitor, you can help these newer competitors get in sport, like novice competitors, help them to guide them to where they need to go, how they need to be. Because, that's when I think it's one thing. I think for us mature people, we have to teach the youngins because you know what? And they have to be open and willing to take the teaching. Agreed.
They have to receive it. They can't just bounce off of them.
Yeah, I think with children because you get one thing into one ear and out the other. But if you're someone who wants to, you know what, I want to listen, I want to learn, because you know what, this sport, there's so much to it. Like with me doing this content, I'm always learning some things because I'm not a competitor. I'm just this fat guy at home with a YouTube channel, just stuff like that. But
very
when
popular,
I have come,
very knowledgeable. Come on now.
Mucho poquito. So,
that's not much Spanish I know.
Yeah, that's about that's about as much as I know too. But,
my son is bilingual, the fucker. Excuse me.
hey, that's your baby.
Look, that was his decision. What a smart decision.
Yeah, because you know what,
decision he made.
Especially if it's the one that's working with the soccer. Yeah, because there's a very big European, very very big Spanish. Like you get the Spain, you have Argentina, Honduras, a lot of those countries. Soccer is very big. Here in America, we play football. Your other son, that's the game. That's the American game.
I just realized that we have football and football.
Yeah,
I never made the connection to you. Just said that, and it's been like 2 years.
Yeah, it's
I'm gonna make that joke to my family tonight because I had not thought of it, but I will give you credit.
Thank you. I take it because you know what? Because over in Europe, in other places, we call it soccer here. They call it football there, and our football is football. But some say it might be a little bit rugby. But our American guys have the pads and stuff. I was watching a friend of mine. He's a big fan of this rugby player, and the women those women are tough.
They're super cool. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's one American girl. I forgot her name. She's big, that's big. She's like I think she's Olympian. Very statuesque. Very she talks about how people treat her. But you know what? I think she's an attractive woman. I think she's not like women like yourself. I think all of y'all are beautiful. Everybody's going to have their critiques of what they think is standard or beauty of a woman.
Right. And right back at you.
Yeah. Well, I'm not beautiful. I'm a man. We can't be beautiful. We can be handsome. We can't be beautiful. Okay. Nah, that's a woman thing.
Very handsome.
Thank you. I take that. My mom would say,
no, what would your mom say? Go on.
my mom said I was handsome.
You are handsome.
Yeah.
One thing I was going to do post retirement, but then missed it because I was too fatigued. I was going to try out for the New Orleans Pelicans old person's dance team, you know, where you have to be 55 and up. I've been wanting to do it since we were season ticket holders for 20 years. They used to be called the Used to Bees. I think they're called the Senior Pelican Dance Team. I signed up for the tryouts and everything, but it was like literally 10 days before the show. And I was like, if I get hurt at the Pelicans dance team tryout, even with the grapevine, like, because I was so depleted, I run into everything. So I didn't get to go, but I will be on that dance team next year when they have tryouts. So that's it.
Yeah. Like I said, it's always next year. You know, you shoot for that.
So when you see all those old people dancing, know that I'm going for that next year.
Yeah, I'll be saying, hey, look at that plump, buff old lady right there. Yeah. Hey, guys, put me your tissue, your lotion. Yeah, come on, be calm. You know,
I really wanted to go, but it was all day. So I was like, how am I going to go from like 9 a.m. to 2 in the afternoon? Again, proving my point of why I'm done with prep. I missed out on something I really wanted to do. And like you said, there are sacrifices. And these are the sacrifices I'm not willing to take anymore. So that 9 being completion, my 5 + 4 = 9. Really, I feel such closure on this chapter in my life. It's amazing.
well, like I said, that's your life. You want to take opportunities that you missed out because of bodybuilding. You know, bodybuilding brought you some good things, but also
oh my God,
took away,
wonderful things.
And took away some opportunities too. It's a switch. You know, you have this opportunity. You know what? I want to do something I always want to do, and I can do it. And like again, if you feel like that urge, I want to put back on my posing suit, get slapped on with baby oil and tanning, I can do that whenever I feel like it. But you want to enjoy this opportunity while you got it, especially with how life is precious. It's like it's you realize something, especially when mama passed and my brother and my sisters, it's fleeting life is, and it's great to if you can have those opportunities. Like with me going to Tampa last year, I would have never gone if I didn't say, you know what, I had to get out of my own way.
Oh my God, 100% me as well. Agreed. Everybody.
Yeah. And going to Pittsburgh, because again, that's the farthest I've ever been up north. It was a few years ago, me, my sisters, and a couple of my nieces and nephews, we went to Virginia. That's the farthest north I've ever been. And I got a niece, she lives in Atlanta. And a while back, she lives in Atlanta. A while back, I went to visit her. Me and my other sister Jean went to visit her Thanksgiving. My first time out of town on a holiday. And, going to there, and also I did this. I know you know Christine Ware,
Mm-hmm.
And Christine lives around Atlanta. We hanged out. We worked out a little bit. It was a great opportunity to meet Christine again because I met her in Tampa earlier that year, and just to hang out and work out with her, meet her husband. He's a pretty cool guy. And for me, that was I've really been broadening my horizons. And to go to Pittsburgh, and I've already made my plans. And I heard ladies say, "Hey, you coming to Pittsburgh?" I said, "Yeah, I come to Pittsburgh." "Oh my God, Jess, I can't wait to see you. I'm gonna be there. I can't wait to see you." I said, it's exciting.
About Pittsburgh is pretty and it's hilly.
Thank you. I need that feedback.
I didn't realize that when I was there.
Well, we don't have a lot of hills where we go up here. We had some places here and there, but it's a experience for me.
I can't wait to hear about Pittsburgh.
Yeah, my older brother James, who's a big Pittsburgh Steelers fan. So I think when I'm there, I'm gonna shout him out because he was a big. Sure. I was more of a Bears fan coming up. He was a Pittsburgh fan.
Interesting. Are you gonna go to Heinz Field?
Depending how far it is, because like I said, I'm staying till about my train leaves that early Tuesday morning, and I'm going to be leaving that Wednesday, so I'll be there by that late, early to late Thursday, and then check out both the Masters World Championships and the North Americans. I might also go to the venue the day before, just to maybe do some reach out to some ladies so who might be there, so I can maybe do little interviews on the side, and then stay until that Monday, and then maybe I head out. depending how far high it feels from my motel, I might check it out. I might, it's all up to things how things go.
Football stadium, you've seen them all.
Yeah.
Sort of.
I mean,
Some are cooler
yeah.
than others, I guess.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's just for me, it's just something to get out of where I'm here, Robertson County, my little small town in Roland, and to go someplace else and to meet people that I follow on this doing this content, ladies I've made connections with. One lady who I've interviewed, she said she's gonna be there because a friend of hers is competing there, and another lady who's told me she's gonna be there, and a young lady who I interviewed a while back. That's she can get two of them going to get pro cards at that show.
That's
And
super cool.
and again, I was thinking about I might go to Atlanta next year. And there's also a show here in my backyard. It's in Charlotte. It's called the Queen City. It's D Jackson, and I think she promoted it because she sent me some pictures and a video to promote on my channel.
Nice.
And I have to wait see how my finances look afterwards, and I might try to go there. I just got to rent a car because I don't have a car of my own. Rent a car. Charlotte's only about 2 hours drive from where I stay at. Because last time I been in Charlotte, my mom was in the hospital one time. Because she was she's going through her therapy and stuff. But just to do something and to get out of my comfort zone, to get out of something that I'm used to, and to meet women like yourself in person.
Everybody wants to meet and support you too, because you support us so much. So I mean, we want you out there as much as you want to be out there. So get out there.
I'm trying to get my best, but
I get it.
But again, it goes back to money. I got
right now. It's hard.
It's end of the month. I gotta make $1 bleed. I gotta make $1 bleed. So we're not gonna hold her much too longer because she's a great lady, and I always enjoy our conversations. We do opportunity to, for you, even though you're walking away from the sport, what do you think you would miss the most if you think about it?
Of the other competitors. I mean, I just love sitting there and hearing their stories and why they're here, how they got here, how I ended up there was so random. And all my years, I started in 2009. That was my first competition, 9-ish. I've only met maybe one or two people who were mildly unpleasant. It's just been an amazing, supportive, growth inclusive community that just lit up my world and my soul for all these years. I mean, I still have my friends who I competed with in the NPC. I mean, you sit backstage, you get tan naked with these people, you know what I mean? And you're bending over and touching each other and you're all standing there and you're sitting there for 5 hours. You get to know people and it's really a lot of human connections and a lot of FaceTime that day. And that's the best. It's just the best. I will miss the smell of the spray tan and I will miss the pageant aspect of it. But I feel pretty complete and done. I'm very happy and satisfied. Never dreamed I would really turn pro. Really always thought it was going to be a hobby. Never dreamed I would win a show and never dreamed I'd be involved in a Max Fit Classic like that. I mean, I'm, like I said, honored and thrilled to have been part of that growth year. It was quite an incredible way to go out.
Yeah, you want to go out top. You're like a fighter. You want to go out. You want to go out there to like
I'm loving it.
Yeah,
and not resenting it. Like I'm leaving, loving it, and but also being like, and I'll never sit and wait 15 hours again. Because I was up at 5. I didn't get back to my hotel room until like 10. I didn't even eat anything. I had a protein shake and went to bed after the show. Like we didn't even get a dinner because everything was closed. So like I literally ate my prep food, which was fine. I did have a Girl Scout Samoa cookie Pop-Tart. That was fire.
Best new.
Yeah, I got it. Big Lots has the best Pop-Tart selection. So I bought chocolate chip pancake, banana bread, which I bought 2 of those. They're really good. And then the Girl Scout, the coconut caramel Girl Scout cookie Pop-Tart.
Dude, those Girl Scouts,
I only have one. I have a ton of them. I don't even, I haven't even looked at them again. But yeah, it was quite a show.
Those Girl Scouts, wow.
So
Well, my sister used to work as a den mother with the Girl Scouts. Her son wasn't a Girl Scout; he was, but yeah, I mean, they'd be like drug dealers on the corners,
Oh, for sure.
yeah,
No
yeah,
doubt about it. They're like a mob. They're
yeah,
and drug dealers and all of it above.
yeah.
And
Look at the
gangs.
little slash. Look at the little slash. You get the gang sign. Say cookies for sale. You're like, hey, come over here. You want this? Yeah,
And they're good cookies.
you be good. You be acting like like when I hadn't had it in a while, but sometimes we get them. You be acting like like you remember the movie New Jack City with Chris Tucker. You be acting like Pookie say, "You be calling my name, man. Be calling my name. The cookies, the thin mints, the Samoas, the peanut butter chocolate ones. They be calling my name, man." Because
That was really good. That was really good.
yeah, it's a great classic. You gotta love. Shout
That
out to
is
Chris Rock.
interesting. I didn't expect that to come up. That was fun.
Yeah, I've been working on this. I've been really working myself this year. Like that. Thank you. I take that. But
Yay.
yeah, I think one thing is will miss the human camaraderie. Being with women and men that share your passion, and but it's good that you're doing for you. You get to spend time with your family, your friends. You're doing stuff that you want to do.
Right,
And
and
again,
figure out who I am away from bodybuilding.
yeah, and again, if you feel like you want to come back, that door is always open. I've seen ladies who say, "You know what, I'm retired," and then I've seen ladies who come back 10 years later because sometimes it's that you're still an athlete. It's like when Mike Tyson fought Jake Paul, I didn't think he beat that boy. He beat that boy. I don't.
I didn't watch it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he beat that boy. I mean, I just they let him have it, but he beat that boy. I'm honestly, I think Mike just turned 60 this year, and even though he's 60, that brother still has it. I mean, I wouldn't fight that man with a crowbar and a gun if I had to. But I think everybody got to live their best life. If it's inside bodybuilding, outside of bodybuilding, do what you want to do for you. But again, if you feel like you want to walk away from it and do what you want to do, that's your choice. And it goes back to if you feel like you have that hunger, say, what, again, I want to try it one more time just for the hell of it, so I can, just be the camaraderie, just be on the stage, and just recognition I put into building this body, this physique.
Exactly. I mean, what you said exactly sums it up. How I feel. I can come back at any point, but I do feel complete. But that you nailed it.
Well, we got some comments here before we head out. We have here got some man, KL the Wanderer. He comes and says, "Good afternoon."
Oh my gosh, hi.
Hi, says. Also, my man here, Black Panther, he says, "Hi, George." Hi there, brother. And also, he says to you. Also, he says, "Hi, Miss Jaffe. Where are you originally from?"
Can always call me Rachel, and I'm originally from New Orleans, Louisiana.
Yeah, she's from New Orleans. New Orleans.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was out of here for college and a few years post college, but have pretty much been here most of my life. I did a little bit in Arizona, and I did 6 years in New York City. My husband went to NYU Law School, and I just worked. And we were in our 20s, and it was freaking fantastic. It was from 95 to 2001. And then I moved back to New Orleans in 2000, right before the 9/11 kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know. I've lived my family. My family was sharecroppers, as I said before, and we worked around here. My parents worked around here. I lived in different places. Right now, I'm in the same place for 30 years.
Wow.
Because after we got out, we worked for the people we used to work for. They didn't need us anymore, and we moved up here to the town. And it was originally me, my mother, two of my nephews, and my younger brother. And then one of my brothers went off, my nephew went off, and then for a little while, me and my mom, one of my brothers came back, one of my nephews came back, and now it's just me, because and it's the thing is, it's just trying to find yourself when you're used to. I grew up in a big house, like with my brothers and sisters and nieces and nephews, and now everybody's kind of scattered. My oldest sister, she lives like a little bit down the road from me. I got another nephew who lives down the road. My other nephew lives with my sister, his mother. A while back, my youngest nephew, he just had his 10th baby, and I got to finally, he was in the military. He served the military, got out. He has like umpteen kids, and I got to meet the little baby. And we kind of scattered. I think life changes, and you have to adapt to the changes.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Prep is the same way. Nothing is linear. Everything has curves and ups and downs and setbacks and roundabouts and different ways to get there than you thought you were going to be there. And then maybe what you thought you were getting is not what you needed or got at all. It's got to just let the universe work its magic.
Mm-hmm. We got a comment here from a man, Black Panther. Shout out to him. He says, Miss Jaffe, you are a strong, beautiful. And also he says this. He says,
hey, Rachel, I like this. He's Rachel.
Well, he said that, Rachel, you are the greatest. New Orleans, Louisiana is the birthplace of jazz music. I love jazz music. Louis Armstrong, Ella Fitzgerald, and are great artists. And also, he says this before he let him out. He says, Rachel, you have a beautiful smile and a beautiful hard ripped physique of art. And he likes the hard ripped part.
I am so tired. That made my day. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I'm just receiving, like we were talking about, I'm just receiving those compliments. That was really, really nice. Thank you so much.
That's why I like doing lives, because these are the type of opportunity for these guys who are a fan of y'all women to talk to you, to reach out to you.
Really nice.
Some of these guys have never met a woman bodybuilder in your life, and they get the opportunity to sing your praise. Again, we're gonna have our haters. God bless them. You can hate all you can hate, but you know what? That's on you. And,
that's right. That's a reflection of themselves, not on the person.
Yeah, because you know what? This is something like doing this content and talking with you ladies, y'all are beautiful people inside and out. You may not be the standard or what is considered a woman, but you are a woman. You're a mother, you're a wife, you're a friend, you're a daughter, you're a competitor. You do what you want to do in your life. And those people that got a problem with it, that's on them. Man, Bernie Mac said like this: people don't like you, son, fuck them.
Exactly.
Crazy in their lips and hang them against the wall. That's what you do. So, yeah. Shout out to Bernie Mac. Shout out to, we got one more from a man. Black Panther says this. He says, you are very welcome, Rachel. You are so beautiful. Hey, he stole that from my line. That's what the other guy would say. He says, yeah, Rachel, you are beautiful. It's nice to talk to you, Rachel. It's been a long time. And you looked ripply delicious.
That's amazing.
I'm sorry about him. I'm been working with him, but again, he completes me.
Yeah, I hear that. That.
Yeah. So one more from me, Black Panther, before we let him go. He says, women's physique, New Orleans, Louisiana, USA's is the greatest. Thank you, brother. They appreciate that. I think we're not home. Yeah, we're not home with her too long. Like I said, she just got back from her competition. She's right now just taking the time to just wind down a little bit, reverse diet, rest. She got her man, at the house, got to take care of him and take care of her, and also just living your life, because that's the thing is, and you got to live your life for you. It's not anything else. It's the sport again can come and go, but it's important that you do what you want to do.
Thank you, and the same advice to you. And I can't wait to hear about Pittsburgh.
Well, I'm excited about it. Like I said, again, I'm going to be going I'm going to my sister's house on the 30th. Yes, and then leave on the 2nd. And I should be there by that Thursday. And because I'm taking a train. I was thinking about taking a plane, but cost of tickets.
Yeah, go train all the way.
Yeah, that's my last couple of shows. I went to a train. I think
when I go to sleep, that rocking.
With Tampa, when I was going to Tampa, I had to stop off in Savannah. And Savannah was where I went with my first bodybuilding show. I went to the same train station. I had to wait 6 to 5 hours for the next train to go to Tampa. That's a transfer. And then going back home, had to wait another 6 to 5 hours to go back to the train station in South Carolina, go 6 back, and we'll go back to North Carolina. But maybe next time, things are a little better, finance a little better. I'll take a plane and go, take a straight shot. But a couple more, we got to give my man Black Panther. He's been sticking in here. He says this. He says, Richie, you have a beautiful smile. He's one compliment.
So nice.
Yeah, he's a good dude. So
so nice. Yeah. I am about to explode.
Well, don't explode on me.
I know, but I'm trying to stay as long as I can. But I really need to.
I know. We'll give Black Panther one more to get you a little bit more feel better. He says this to you. He says, shout out to man Black Panther. He's been sticking in here. Brother, I'll give you just one last one. He says, Rachel, what activities do you participate outside of women's physique? She's just explained. She does a little dance, stuff like that. She's also trying to get on a dance crew in her area. So, she got a lot of things. Yeah, she got a lot of things she's looked forward to do.
Play bingo with my mom. Volunteer at Gigi's Playhouse. I dance. Get into a lot of mischief.
Yeah, you can't get in trouble with your mother because she's gonna say.
Oh, for sure. Don't you worry. For sure.
Yeah. But anyway,
go.
Yeah. Well, anyway, got anybody want to shout out before I let you go?
Just you for always being so supportive. And I thank you for your time and attention to detail and everything else. And I can't wait to hear about your travels.
Well, I can't wait to share it with y'all. I will make sure I post stuff when I'm there. I also got to make sure
love and kind words.
Well,
and conversations.
My saying, when you say thank you, you like to quote my man, The Dark Knight, you never have to. That's why I do this. We'll let him have this one because his compliment says, George, you are the greatest.
I feel like that one from me too. I'm going to piggyback on with him. You are the greatest.
I'm just one of many, man. Just one of many. So, folks, we'd like to thank the lovely Mrs. Rachel Jaffe for coming through. Best of luck. Congratulations on her future retirement out of the sport of bodybuilding. All the best in her future, in her other plans. Folks, you want to follow Rachel, the links in the description of the live stream. Don't send the weird stuff to her. She has a man. She got 2 grown boys. I don't want to be hearing stories of a man and a boy jumping on somebody because they said some stuff. Who said it to my mom? Dude, what's wrong with you? Say, what you say this stuff about woman for? You're sick freak.
No, your audience would never. No chance. I don't believe it for a second.
Where I know my audience won't, but there's guys out there that would because they are just
Well, let's not do that. Just listen to them. Am I pointing at you in the right direction?
With me?
Here, high five.
He got cameras looking for me in another direction.
Wait, I'm trying to get. Oh wait, we almost got it. Go to the side.
That's it. That's it. That's it, folks. We'll have a little fun today, folks. She is a great lady.
All about joy.
Yeah, joy in my heart. And he's heard that when it's coming
mine
up.
Too. I'm shutting down. or I'm gonna ruin this chair.
Yeah. Well, thank you again, Rachel. Best of luck. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And you are welcome again. So, folks, follow Rachel. Follow Rachel in the links. Check her out. Support her in her upcoming future in sport and outside of sport. Thank you, folks. Again, it's me, always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Don't like, subscribe. Good night, good luck, God bless, and see y'all next time.